My name is Gabriel Rubacha. I'm the CEO of NOA Lithium Brines, Inc., a company with all their assets in Argentina in the province of Salta.
Gabriel, nice to meet you. Thank you for the introduction.
Please.
Here we are at PDAC, kind of a few days in. Has there been a big Argentinian delegation here? You know, has there been? Forgive me, I haven't been to the Argentinian night. I wish I had, but maybe there wasn't one.
No, I mean, normally there is a big delegation coming to the PDAC, so it's a very crowded. I mean, especially at the Sheraton, that normally all the Argentinians tend to stay at the Sheraton, but yeah, the delegation is quite big, with a few governors attending the PDAC to promote their assets in their provinces.
I'm fascinated by what's happening in Argentina at the moment, and although let's say I don't agree with everything that your president says, when it comes to the economic discussion that he has and his rhetoric, it's very compelling. How's that? And I know it's almost like kind of economic shock tactics in Argentina. How's that feeling from the inside? You know, what's the mood in the country?
It's mixed, I would say. There are people that are really supporting that there needs to be a change in order to, I mean, with a long-term vision of the country rather than a short-term. There are others, obviously, that are not supporting. Personally, I believe that as a country, we need to move forward. We need to move to some reforms long-term. The country got a lot of assets, a lot of resources that it's an opportunity that we got in order to start exploiting what we got in our country, especially mining. The president is very supportive to the exploitation of the resources. We share the same range of mountains with Chile. Chile have been very successful in mining. It's the largest producer of copper. We got several copper projects in Argentina.
Yeah, absolutely.
That are waiting to be exploited. So I think it's a good opportunity for a country, not only at the national level, also the provinces that got resources are very supportive to the development of the mining in Argentina. So I think that we got a good opportunity going forward.
And your assets are in the kind of the Lithium Triangle, you know, this mythical space which comes from you know, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. And of course, the majority of the production is on the Chilean side.
Yeah, today the majority of the production is in the Chilean side. Argentina is trying to reach what the Chile got. There are several projects under construction, under development in Argentina. There are 3 already in production. Again, a good opportunity for Argentina to become a major player in the lithium space. The conditions in terms of policies, I believe that are much better than in the rest of the triangle, meaning Bolivia and Chile. The resources belong to the provinces, and the provinces got most of the lithium, which is Salta, Jujuy, and Catamarca, are very supportive to the development of mining and the development of lithium. So I think that in comparison with Chile and Bolivia, Argentina has got a good opportunity to become a major player, a lead player, and in the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, in Chile, it's a very strange. The lithium space is a very strange place. You know, it's kind of. I think there are only 2 licenses, and it comes from the Pinochet time, and a strategic asset along with uranium. So if you've got a more modern and a kind of a fit for purpose mining policy, and lithium falls within that, then obviously it's more open for new entrants to come in and for competition to thrive.
Yeah. That is the advantage that we got in Argentina. In Chile, I mean, there are new agreements in order to provide continuity to SQM with the involvement of the state in their business, which is not the case in Argentina. There's a lot of incentive for the private entities to invest, and this is where we Argentinians believe that we got a competitive advantage against our neighbors, and that's why I would say that in the last few years, many companies have been investing in Argentina rather than in other countries. I'm talking about lithium in particular.
So that's all the good news, you know. That's kind of that's kind of Argentina open for business. Lithium, isn't it great? Obviously, as we know, the market's been brutal on resource companies in general, and on lithium companies in particular, because the lithium price in November 2022 was $78,000 per ton for lithium carbonate, and kind of it's come back down to 12, 13, 14,000. You know, so the prices have come right down. The resources sector has been out of favor. Lithium has been particularly punished. How have your meetings been? Have you been beaten up in meetings, or what's the reception been?
I mean, we got listed a year ago, as a matter of fact, exactly a year ago.
Right.
And we were lucky, I would say, that we had the resources, the capital to develop our campaign, campaign, to meet our objectives of having maiden resource in 12 months.
So you drilled 4 holes and then published a maiden resource.
Yeah, we drilled 5 and 4 for maiden resource. We used 4 for maiden resource. But the market, as you said, it's in a terrible mood. I think that we need to be patient. We need to be optimistic long term. This is more a marathon rather than the sprint race.
Yeah.
You have to be patient. Definitely, it's not the right time to raise capital.
Your share price actually has held up pretty well. You went from 60 cents to 32 cents, and it may feel painful, but actually it's relative to your many other companies, it's not so bad.
As a matter of fact, we started a year ago at 30 cents, and we are at the same level. So in comparison with others, we are much better.
Yeah.
But the market is not reacting to the news. It's not reacting to anything. Not only with us, with everybody. So everybody is waiting. Prices are recovering a little bit.
Lithium prices?
Yeah, a little bit. But still, the mood is not very optimistic. And I believe that we have to be patient. Definitely, the 70,000 is not going to come back, but more reasonable prices are going to come in the next, I would say, short, mid-term, are going to be in much better shape. With these prices, the operations in Australia are not very competitive or not profitable. In Argentina or in the Lithium Triangle, we probably are better positioned with these prices because our OPEX are more competitive in terms of the current pricing. But still, raising capital in this market is terrible.
Sorry, I didn't actually let you finish when I asked the question about what the meetings were like.
The meetings got this pretty much the same mood. We had meetings with financial institutions, potential investors, peers, colleagues. The mood is pretty much what you said. It's really terrible, with some optimism that this is gonna be better in second half this year. Probably, I believe that it's gonna be better. Again, not like in 2022, but it's gonna be better. I see a little bit of recovery, a little bit more of optimism. I'm personally optimistic that this is going to be better, probably in the sooner rather than later.
What's your cash position?
And we are exercising warrants held by management, founders, and seed capital, so we can provide additional capital to the company without diluting shareholders, because raising capital in this market is not the best alternative. So we are providing additional capital to the company in order to continue.
And the work plan for 2024?
2024, we got, our plan is to continue exploration in Rio Grande.
Through drilling?
Drilling, yeah. Maiden resource, we just published maiden resource. We published it last week with 2.3 million tons LCE, including measured, indicated, and inferred, which is significant for a project. We delivered that in 12 months. We explored just 12% of our mining properties. We plan to continue drilling properties in the south that we haven't explored yet, and then continue with production wells in order to test capacity of the solar, and start some preliminary engineering on Rio Grande. That is our flagship project.
NOA Lithium Brines is the name of the company.
Yeah.
When I think of salars, I think of evaporation, and when I think of brines, I think of DLE, direct lithium extraction. You know, what is it?
I mean, there are two alternatives to process the brines out of the salars, depending on the concentration. If you got low concentration, you have to go to DLE processes in order to have better recovery of the lithium in the brines. If you get higher concentration, you can go to the traditional process like evaporation, like the operations that are currently in Chile and Argentina. So in our particular case, we got a concentration that is 612 milligrams per liter as an average, which is on the high end of middle range of the salars in Argentina, that allow us to have the flexibility to go to a traditional process evaporation, de-risking significantly the development of our project, or DLE if that is the case. Considering that there are no commercial operations yet in place, we leave that for a second option, but our first option right now is to go into evaporation process.
To me, it always seems with lithium companies that water management is a kind of a crucial aspect of that. I mean, I know it's early days in your technical and economic analysis of these projects, but are you already thinking about water management, and have you got any kind of commentary on that?
Part of what we are doing now, we are doing geophysics. We are identifying water sources within our properties, which we already identified. So we got that in our radar, and it's part of the exploration campaign in 2024, identify water sources within our properties, not going somewhere else. But again, traditional process doesn't require more volume of water than other. DLE probably, depending on the process, require more water in order to process. So evaporation, I would say that is probably more friendly towards the
so there's less water used in the process generally through evaporation.
Exactly.
Because you take the brine and you're actually trying to remove water, not add water.
Exactly. You use the sun. I mean, you require less power as well.
Yeah. And all of the salars, I believe in Chile, are always at a kind of very specific altitude and latitude to kind of get that mixture of evaporation and radiation. Are you in the same?
It's pretty much the same. We are on the other side of Andes, pretty much the same altitude, same radiation. We're on the Puna of Argentina, which got a high radiation in order to provide this evaporation. Use the power of the sun basically to evaporate the brines. So it's pretty much the same as in Chile. The only difference in Chile, the Atacama Salar, the words SQM and Albemarle, The concentration of brine is much higher than in Argentina. That's probably the main difference, but the rest is pretty much the same process.
Okay. For 2024, as we look out, we're almost at the end of Q1 now. Can you kind of roughly block out the kind of what you're aiming to deliver in terms of news flow or milestones for the company this year?
The first milestone is provide an expansion of our resource. Probably it's going to be towards the end of 2024 with the drilling campaign that we plan in the south, southeast, and probably some in the north. We strongly believe that we can double the resource that we got. It's something that we need to demonstrate, but we believe that we can double that. I would say that the second half, we're going to have a first pass on the flow diagram on engineering for a process, a very conceptual and probably something more detailed towards the end of the year. And early or middle third quarter water sources and where we identify water for the development of the projects. I would say that there are the three main targets.
And sorry, just on the way to the resource, presumably that would involve a little bit of drilling news flow during the year as well.
Yeah, definitely in the south that we are planning to do that. Our idea or our plan is to start drilling probably in the second quarter this year, start drilling in the south and see how it goes. But we are confident that we got a very strong, robust project in Rio Grande.
Gabriel, thank you very much. It's been a fascinating educational experience about your company, and good luck for 2024.
Thanks.